Well, let's talk about matters electrical with the energy expert, Ted Blom. Ted, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. Firstly, the load shedding tonight. I would imagine between 10 o'clock in the evening and 5 o'clock in the morning is the period of the lowest demand for Eskom. How desperate must they be to have to institute load shedding at that time?
Yes, Stephen, it's great cause for concern. I put out a call last week that we could expect load shedding, and Eskom again denounced it. But we had load shedding over the weekend and on Friday. And the fact that it's only Tuesday now, and they already seem to have burned through a lot of diesel last night. They ran 14 OCGTs, which means that they've probably been caught with their pants down again and don't have adequate diesel reserves. And they struggled last night to make 27,000 megawatts. The normal pre-COVID demand was around about 30,000 megawatts. And it's just a terrifying situation. And I don't know what business is going to do if this is the road forward. It really seems like we could be close to the beginning of the meltdown.
Okay, how much of this is to do with what used to be called the summer maintenance season? In other words, this was the period during which a lot of power stations would be taken offline for maintenance. We came to understand that. Of course, the hope was Medupi and other new power stations would come along, but they've had problems. Is it possible to know how much of this is due to the maintenance season and how much of it is just bad luck? Is it the big storm Eloise that affected, made coal wet in Limpopo?
No, Stephen. The story of Limpopo I can dispel very quickly. Medupi and Matimba are a stone's throw away from each other. They get served by the same coal mine from Exxaro. Matimba didn't have any outages over that period, and yet Medupi had five units offline. There's something wrong on the ground at Medupi. Previously, when they had that big fire, we found out, and Eskom has never admitted it, that the sensors on the conveyor were never connected. They were there, they were paid for, but they were never connected. As far as the coal procurement is concerned, it's been a challenge since I was back at Eskom in 2006. There are gross irregularities on the coal side. Eskom is not on top of managing the situation. They don't have assays of the coal delivered. In fact, they didn't even have weigh bridges when I first discovered the problem at Eskom. As far as the maintenance is concerned, so Kenati just mentioned now they did 4,000 megawatts of maintenance currently. The rater wanted to do 8,000 megawatts of maintenance with his reliability maintenance. I said that was insane. It's not possible. You need to import power. 5 gigawatts. I'm on record of saying that in 2013 already, and again now. It seems to me that things are very, very awry at Eskom. Somebody hasn't got his hands on the levers of power or management.
Okay, so we know there's a lot going on at Eskom at the moment. We also know the long-term problems of this. Load shedding started at December 2007, January 2008, perhaps for most people. It's been with us for a very long time, hasn't been fixed. And we're hearing some of the evidence of why that happened now at the Zondo Commission. We're hearing testimony today around coal supplies. Obviously, this was a big factor. People weren't focused on fixing Eskom. This is from what we hear at the Zondo Commission. We're actually seeing basically evidence that people are interested in something else.
No, absolutely. And it's the pre-Zuma years, let me tell you that, because I was at Eskom, as I said, for my third time, from 2006 to 2008. And that's when I discovered the gross irregularities on the coal account. So that Mr. Zuma only came into power towards the end of 2008. So you can't blame this on Mr. Zuma. This preceded him, and it's just been part of the culture of Eskom ever since. When I raised it in 2007, 2008, I had death threats, I had all sorts of things. I had people on the roof of my house threatening to attack me. It's just unheard of. And it hasn't been sorted out. I was in Mr. Director's office a year ago, offering my services to help sort out the coal side. I come from the coal side. I started at coal in Eskom in 1988. And I've been at the supplier side, Glencore, Transnatal, Ingwe. So I've got coal in my blood. I'm busy trying to finance 2 coal mines at the moment. So, and then I was told no, but he's got his own expertise and he will sort it out personally. So yes, again in 2010, it's Mike Dietz, he's now deceased, bless his soul. Him and I at the nursery hearings offered our services free of charge. He was a previous head of generation with the highest production statistics ever, which got Eskom to the Global Utility of the Year award in 2001. We offered publicly our services free of charge. They told us, yes, we'll phone you. We're still waiting for the call, and Mr. Dieter is unfortunately deceased in the meantime.
Right. I mean, Ted, there are a lot of things going on at the same time. I mean, we're seeing more and more municipalities getting involved in trying to generate their own electricity. I think more and more people, frankly, are doing, companies are trying to do it. There do seem to be bureaucratic hold-ups. It seems to all take a very long time, and changing policy seems to take a long time. I've got to tell you, I mean, I knew the Minister of Energy, Gupta, pretty well when he was the Secretary General of the ANC. He's not nearly as available for the media now, certainly in my experience.
Yeah, I met Mr. Mantashe the first time in 1990, I think, if I remember correctly. And you're right, he was very available, very keen to engage with mining companies. I met him as a member of the executive of the coal mining company. And there's, Stephen, we can sort out the energy problem within 6 months. All we need to do is for household solar to be encouraged and a tax write-off to be given for that, and the grid to be opened up. I'm ready to generate power within 24 months if I can get a license, but I can't get a license because of this throttled monopoly where you can't generate more than 10 megawatts of power, and you can't get a license to go higher than that. Only Eskom gets a license. So there's something wrong somewhere, because the renewables got 27 licenses signed off in one day, if you remember, if you go back a year or two. So there's something wrong. Somebody gets favored. The people who really want to do the business cleanly and above the table don't get a chance.
Ted Blom, thanks very much indeed, the energy expert. Do appreciate the time here on Newsfeed.